I met Gary when I was 32. He had 2 kids from his first marriage. Dylan was 4, Sophie was 2. Their biological mom had left when Sophie was 6 months old, just packed a bag one Tuesday morning and never came back. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. Gary and I got married that same year. People said it was too fast, but they didn't understand. Those kids needed someone, and I chose to be that someone. I didn't just marry him, I married those kids. I was the one who rocked Sophie back to sleep at 2 a.m. when she had ear infections. I was the one who taught Dylan how to ride a bike in the driveway of our little house on Maple Court in Richmond, Virginia. I was there for everything. The sleepless nights, the fevers, the quiet tears no one else saw. I didn't just show up, I stayed. I packed over 3,000 school lunches. I sat through every single parent-teacher conference. I paid for Sophie's braces out of my own savings account, $2,200 I'd been putting aside for years. Every Friday night, I drove Dylan 40 minutes to baseball practice in Henrico. Every Saturday morning, I braided Sophie's hair for dance recitals. I never once called them my stepchildren. They were my kids. That's what I believed. That's what I felt in my bones. Then Gary turned 50. Something changed in him. He started going to the gym at strange hours. New cologne, new clothes. He'd take phone calls in the garage. I'm not stupid, I knew, but I stayed quiet because I kept thinking about the kids. One evening, he sat me down at the kitchen table and told me he'd been seeing a woman named Jess. She was 29. He wanted a divorce. He said he deserved to be happy. Like I'd been the one standing in the way of that for 16 years. The divorce was final in 4 months. Gary moved Jess into a new apartment in Short Pump, and the kids, my kids, they went with him. Dylan was 18, Sophie was 20, old enough to make their own choices. And they chose him. A week after the divorce, Sophie posted a photo on Instagram. Her, Dylan, Gary, and Jess, all smiling at some rooftop restaurant. The caption said, "Finally free from the fake mom, the real family is back together." Dylan reposted it. 40,000 likes. Comments calling me a clown. People I'd never met laughing at 16 years of my life. I sat on the edge of my bed that night and I cried until my ribs hurt. Then I deleted every social media account I had. I didn't post a response. I didn't defend myself. I just disappeared. I sold the house on Maple Court, moved to a small 1-bedroom in Chester, got a job at the front desk of a veterinary clinic. I started going to church again. I made a few friends. I was learning how to breathe without that family. 2 years went by. I found out through a neighbor that Jess had kicked Gary out. Apparently, she'd met someone else. Same story, different chapter. Gary lost the apartment, couldn't afford rent on his own. Dylan had dropped out of community college. Sophie had lost her job. Then one night in November, around midnight, someone knocked on my door. I looked through the peephole. Dylan and Sophie. Standing on my porch in the rain with duffel bags, mascara running down Sophie's face. Dylan couldn't even look at me, opened the door. Sophie started sobbing. She said, "We had nowhere else to go. Please, you're the only person who ever really..." I held up my hand. I looked at both of them for a long time. Then I said, "I didn't open this door because you deserve it. I opened it because I'm still the same woman I was when I changed your diapers and drove you to practice and paid for your braces. You didn't lose a fake mom. You threw away a real one. And you need to sit with that." They both dropped to the ground, crying right there on the porch. I let them in. I made them coffee. Because that's who I am. Not because they earned it, but because love isn't something I do for applause. It's something I do because I decided to, a long time ago, and I don't take that back. Some people will only see your worth when they've lost everything else. Don't let that change who you are. Just make sure they remember. Still no one like or subscribe. Let us know where you are watching from. My 2 kids will like to know I just shared our story.